We're in such a biodiversity crisis. We need as many people, as many skilled and talented and inspiring people as we can get. The Emerging Wildlife Conservation Leaders Program basically takes those young leaders and empowers them to make a difference.
I think this program is unique in that it offers something that just was not available and still isn't available for wildlife conservationists. It's very much focused towards getting the best new leaders we can in the field out there.
We've graduated 60 students to date. We're already seeing a difference. Our graduates are out there making a difference for wildlife conservation.
So about 10 years ago, I started having conversations with Nina Facione. Our discussions were the typical things in any kind of field where you talk about the problems, the challenges, things that you kind of think are unique to your field, and there were a number of them that we had found we saw occurring again and again. And one of them was that there was a lack of ability to really network and meet people throughout the field, not only just in other aspects of wildlife conservation like the private sector and the government sector versus the not-for-profit sector, but also to meet people even in your own discipline. Another problem we saw is that there wasn't a lot of opportunity to train and mentor up-and-coming young people in the field, particularly in the leadership skills and management skills that would transcend beyond conservation, but also in conservation aspects themselves. And the third thing that we really saw a need for was an opportunity to do more integration and learning more about the different aspects of conservation. You tend to get pigeonholed. You're either a scientist or a communications person or a fundraiser, and you never have the opportunity to try all the different aspects that go into making a successful wildlife conservation campaign. So we thought, well, there are all these problems. Is there anything that we can do to address it? And that's where the vision for Emerging Wildlife Conservation Leaders came from.
As we were developing the Emerging Wildlife Conservation Leaders training, we knew that we wanted it to have 3 strong components. That of networking, and so we built the program such that we would bring in people from different organizations and from nonprofits and federal agencies and state agencies and across the board so that they could get to know each other and network. We knew that we wanted to have a boots on the ground conservation program, so we worked with colleagues to find out how their conservation work could be assisted by these energetic young professionals. And we knew that people needed skills training. So we interwove these 3 components of the training together to make the complete package that over a 2-year period really helps these early career professionals grow into leadership roles.
If it's this tribe that's poaching them for bushmeat, to stop that.
So like reduce.
And it's just a really amazing opportunity to get hands-on training that could have very significant short and long-term impacts on wildlife populations, not only in the U.S. but globally.
Traditional conservation training has been typically based on individuals going out and doing their work and working as individuals, but then they often end up in jobs where they have to work in teams and they have to learn how to build partnerships in order to successfully achieve conservation goals.
The hands-on conservation project, it's part of the training itself. So Jeff Flocken and I present 5 or 6 viable conservation projects to the group. We hand the process over to them and let them figure out how to decide who will work on which project. And it is a somewhat intense experience.
We are reviewing each of our project options.
I'm thinking bats because it's unlike any other species I've worked with. I work on African conservation, so lions and gorillas, as much as I love them, I'd like to do something entirely different.
I'd be interested in working on maybe one of the Africa projects because I actually don't have very much experience in that part of the world.
I think the slow loris and the tortoise project would be something more new and on the ground floor where you could make more of an impact.
This leadership will help me work to conserve any species that need particular support.
You get access to great trainings from people who are in the field, professionals. You get the social aspect where you get to kind of network and build your professional career network. And you get to work on a conservation campaign. And for me personally, I was part of the first class. And I don't typically get to work on international issues. So getting that experience was actually really great and something that maybe I wouldn't have otherwise gotten. And you can apply those skills no matter where you're working. It's a really great opportunity to get that really well-rounded leadership training.
I have the background of being a police officer for several years, and I will be able to contribute in that aspect and be able to help in developing good teams.
It's great to get a group of 22 people together to really talk about something they're passionate about and that they have pretty much dedicated their careers to and hope to continue in the future.
It's an amazing experience for me to help mentor these up-and-coming leaders.
Our emerging wildlife conservation leaders are making a difference for species that many people haven't even heard of. The pangolin, the okapi, the saola in Vietnam. They're making a difference on the ground for yellow-headed parrots in Belize and jaguars on the US-Mexico border. There's species around the world that are gaining from the energy and enthusiasm of our emerging leaders.
This is our way of shaping how conservation will happen in the future, because these participants are our future.
Really equipping the next round of leaders for the wildlife conservation field that will be more effective, more integrated, more collaborative, and ultimately save more wildlife because of it.
Making a better tomorrow for all lives on Earth.